losing Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain at the time felt like a massive blow, and you can't help but do it. Fateless thinking, you think, oh God, is that one of those, the portents of doom? Like, oh, losing a player who's been so pivotal in us getting this far. Gini Wijnaldum just came on and had his best game for Liverpool.
Yeah, it's one of those hypotheticals you'll never know, but the correlation in us figuring them out and our uptick of actually being better in the game was simultaneous with the Wijnaldum substitution. So that's not to say Oxlade-Chamberlain's a bad player. That's not to say he wouldn't have figured it out and we wouldn't have done it. We'll just never know. What you can say is they were better than us for 15, 20 minutes. We were taking a few hits and we were figuring it out. Chamberlain gets injured. We bring Wijnaldum on and we actually suddenly just looked a lot better. And I think Chamberlain breaks the ranks. He breaks the lines better than Wijnaldum does, and we had a bit too much of that, and that wasn't a game for that. Wijnaldum's a better passer, and that ball, we figured out the ball. I was sitting with the Ackies, and Mike just went, "We've got them now. We figured out what that one ball is," and it was down there. It was down our right against their left into Salah. Wijnaldum came on, and he was playing that all the time, and he was incredible. And he's our best player who's not currently in the best 11.
Yeah.
He's the only one who's pushing it. And the drop-off is, and we'll talk about that in terms of squads and the Ings coming on and stuff, the drop-off is quite steep for other players. But Wijnaldum's unlucky to not be getting into that best 11. And he proved it yesterday. He comes in, he's calm, he's incredible on the ball. For someone who is quite small, he's so strong. And their midfield is meant to be about battlers. You know, Strootman and De Rossi are in there, and the Angolans, who's fucking amazing, by the way. But they're like the hard asses, aren't they? They get into them. Wijnaldum didn't let them boss him at all.
I even think you mentioned not breaking the lines. I thought Gini Wijnaldum did that exceptionally.
He was over the top of the defence. He was down the right-hand side. He was everywhere. And
that was his most complete performance, and I think it was maybe to
He was free.
He probably would have played. I think if they'd started that game, if Oxlade-Chamberlain wasn't fit, they'd have actually swapped Milner and Wijnaldum around, whereas Milner carried on doing what he was doing. He almost did what Milner does on the opposite side of the pitch, which is fucking everything, except that, you know, what Gini does is, I think Gini plays within himself at times. He got to show yesterday why he spent so much of his career playing up front and on the wings.
That's right, and you know, the real turning point for me for when he came on is, I love the fact that he's breaking the lines and you're all absolutely spot on. But for me, it was a calmness on the ball. You know, we were losing the ball too quickly, and you know, our direct passing is what ultimately gets us a few of the goals. But we were trying that early on, and it wasn't coming off.
We talked about this at City, didn't we? How Jordan Henderson's trying to just smack it down the field a little bit too early.
Exactly, and Wijnaldum was able to go, bang, okay, we'll just take a little bit of time, we'll make sure we're playing the right ball at the right time, and that's what Gini did brilliantly. And you know, those 5-yard passes, and that you never look at them and go, they're really important. But when you haven't got control of a game, they're massively important, and then you earn the right to start playing the way that you want to play and choosing the right balls, and that's what Wijnaldum helped us to do.
Yeah, he was just incredible, and it's a shame, John, that he doesn't get that goal, because that absolutely, not only does it cap it off, that is us without a shadow of a doubt. That's
getting the away goal.
Well, look, every flight and hotel to Kiev is booked before the full-time whistle blows.
Yeah,
if Gini Wijnaldum sticks that chance in at the end.
Because not only is it the perfect goal for the performance that he deserved, really, but it's the positivity that we spoke about. That little bit of doom and gloom is spun on its head completely, and everyone's in a different place. But yeah, no. It was a number of things. It was just he gave us that class, that bit of control on it, because for too long in the first half it's balls over to Mane, who was playing that central role, but you know, we forced it too much. It was just that calm and present, and you know, he was always going to, in my mind, he was always going to play in the leg in Rome, and it was because he's just a little bit more of a different type of player to Ox. But you know, our hand is forced now, and you know, it's set up for him really now, isn't it?
It was a bit like Obi. He just, you know, it took him a couple of minutes, I think, just to find the speed of the game and find a touch. I mean, he warmed up for 3 seconds before coming on. It was, you know, it was a very, very much an enforced substitution. But I wonder whether it was just that he'd have been gutted not to make the team. He's warmed up, he's pumped, he's seen the atmosphere, he's seen how it's gone, and he's just strolling onto the pitch going, no, I'm gonna go on there and prove a point.
Yeah, I know all of that. And also, there's something to be said for watching a game of footy from the sidelines and actually seeing how it plays out. Yeah. You know, if you're blood and thunder, the atmosphere's got them going, you know, we're playing our part. That game was insane for 15 minutes. They were fucking passing it to us, we were passing it back to them. It was, you know, it was really bitty. he could see the pocket of space. He's been able to be removed from that. He wasn't expecting to come on, but he's watched the game. He's got a point to prove. He's a fucking good player. He wants to be in this team. Look, he wants to play in semi-finals. Every footballer does. They want to play semi-finals. They want to play finals. They want to start. They don't want to be not part of it. No one wants to be, yeah, you got the medal because you were named in the 18, but you weren't part of that team. So he's got to start putting markers down because he is the one with competition. Unfortunately, depending on what the scan comes back like, it might not be competition. But he come in and he just oozed the class that he's shown he's had class at times for us, and you don't get to do the things he's done in his career. You know, he was the youngest captain in Holland during PSV. He was part of that team. He was so young. He's made the break over to England. You don't get to have that without that class. But he came in and showed it, and he's getting to have that consistency now where he's a core part of that squad, pushing into the first team.
Yeah, and you can, you know, again, he did it in Porto as well, Chris. You know, it's that ability, it's his mobility, it's his calm. We saw it in the Merseyside derby, we saw it in the Etihad. Just he's happy to take the ball, he'll shield it, he'll roll a man, and then he'll look up and then he'll go, is the pass on? No. Okay, where will the pass be on? Okay, I need to be 10 yards further up the field. I'm going to carry the ball 10 yards, and then I'm going to make the pass. It was, like I say, it was almost the perfect midfield.
It's interesting sometimes you watch him and you do, when he starts shielding the ball, you think to yourself, where's he going with this? Like, why is he doing this? And he almost lets the game come to him. Like, he lets the players around him get into positions. I suppose that's what you're kind of saying there, is that, you know, everybody sort of opens a passing lane up for him, and he's got the ball at his feet and he's ready for it. Like, and there's a calmness to his game that I really enjoy watching. And I think, you know, people probably looking a little bit down on Gini over the last, well, maybe excuse the last 3 weeks, but because of that illness. You know, I don't think he was in bad form this season, but that illness knocked him for 6. I think, you know, he was out for a few weeks, wasn't he? Yeah. And since he's come back into the side, it looks like he doesn't want to let go of that shirt. And that this is the exact time in the year when you want players playing for a shirt.
Yeah, absolutely. I just love that. I just love that thing of, and we said this about the Everton game and again the City game, is that he just looks, and we've got players who will try a pass, and maybe like Henderson's got a better range of passing, say, and I think that's actually debatable because we've seen some great balls from Gini Wijnaldum in the last couple of seasons. But it is like he sees a top-down view of the pitch, and it just, he knows. Some of our players might play a triangle around someone, but he backs himself, he backs his ability with the ball. He'll take a man on, and he knows once I've gotten past this man, you know, and it's like some of our players, it's not natural for Jordan Henderson to drop the shoulder and go past the man. Whereas again, this is a lad who's played on the wing, he's played on both wings. He's a Dutch international. He's very, very good at football, and we're getting to see that extra bits and pieces of him, and it's exactly what you're saying. This is the perfect time to do that, because if you can't do that now, what's the point? Why bother? You know what I mean? You can have a career in the Premier League. He's proven he's good enough to be in the Premier League. But these are the moments, these are the times of your career where you're here, and Jurgen Klopp's been saying it all season, you know, if you want something, it's within your power to go and achieve it. And you know, it's not just Gini Wijnaldum. I think the midfield in general had this, but I thought it was worth singling him out because, again, that could have been a situation. Oxlade-Chamberlain goes off, and everyone goes, "Well, fucking hell, that's all gone to shit. What are we gonna do? There's the game part out the window. Oh my god, oh my god!" And Gini Wijnaldum went, "No worries, lads. I've got this." Absolutely brilliant.